All right, everyone. So we will get started here. It is now 11 a.m. I will not keep you long on this morning. I truly appreciate you joining me for our first virtual You Are Worthy workshop. Today's topic is going to go over budgeting and saving. Again, I want to welcome you to our workshop, and I will go ahead and get started. This is just a little disclaimer that the information in this PowerPoint is for educational use and not legal advice. A lot of the information I will be sharing today is based off of experience and knowledge and things that I have read or learned along the way. I will also start with the introduction for those of you who do not know me. My name is Virginia Jones, and I am the founder of Worthy of Resourceful Knowledge, WORK, WORK, and we specialize in helping others plan their plan their future by helping them come up with a financial plan. So we'll get started right with today's topic with budgeting. So some people may ask, what is a budget? So simply put, a budget is a plan to make your money do what you want it to do. The budget tells your money where to go, and it shows you where you can cut costs. Your number. So what is your number? Not your telephone number. I'm not asking for your digits, but I am asking about your budget number. The way to find your number is to calculate your monthly income after taxes, your net income, and deduct your monthly expenses. So your income, that can include your job. So if you have a job and you get paid every week or every 2 weeks, that's considered income. Social Security is considered income. Retirement and pension are also considered forms of income. As far as expenses, your expenses can include your rent or your mortgage payment, your transportation. That's if you have a car note or gas, you're paying for gas, or if you're paying Uber, Lyft, things like that. Those are considered transportation expenses. Your cell phone bill, your utilities each month, any debt payments that you make, such as credit card payments. If you have a pet, that can include taking care of your pet, the food that you spend, the money you spend for the food for your pet, education if you're in school, or if you're paying for your children's education, groceries, healthcare, things like that are considered monthly expenses. So this is your number. The goal is to have a positive number once you do the math. That means you are under budget. If you do not end with a positive number, this makes you over budget, and we need to find ways to cut back on expenses or increase your income. For an example, I'll share with you all, when I first moved into my house, I signed up with the internet provider for a year. And a year later, I signed a contract, and a year later, I noticed that my bill increased. It was normally $45 a month I would pay for the internet service, but that next month in January, it was $50. So I called to see why, to just get more information as to why my bill increased. And they let me know it was a 12-month contract. And at that time, they did not have a way to decrease or change the amount. That was the new amount, was $50. So I said, okay, no problem. So I started some research and found that another internet provider actually had the same service for $40. So now I canceled the first service and went through the second service, and now I'm saving almost $10 a month. Now I'm only paying $40. So that's what I mean about seeing how you can cut costs. Even though it was only a $5 or $10 savings, it's still a way for you to save costs. In a year's time, I believe I saved $120. Plus, also that new service provider, because of the holiday season, they actually offered me a $200 gift card just for signing up with them. So that was over $300 in savings for that, including the gift card. So that's what I mean about cutting costs. So that's something that we can work on when we meet one-on-one and things like that. So there is a model called the 50-30-20 budgeting method. This model suggests that you should budget for 50% of your income to cover your needs, 30% of your income for your wants, and 20% of your income should go towards your savings. So the 50% for your needs, that will include your housing, your transportation, and your food. Your wants, which they have budgeted at 30%, are things like things that are nice to have, but you can survive without them. And then your savings is the money you put towards your goals. They're saying that should be 20%. Now, this is a good method. I do like it. I use it from time to time. However, I always suggest saving before spending on your wants. So I will always put my money toward my savings first, and then what's left over after that, that's when I can focus on things that I want. An example of this method is if someone's income was $1,000, ideally, they would want to have $500 available for their needs, $300 towards their wants, and $200 for their savings. But again, I always suggest saving first, and if you can, put more towards your saving, and then spend the rest on your wants. But that's just my personal opinion. So I do have a quick video that goes over the 50-30-20 budget rule. I'm going to see if this will play through the PowerPoint. If not, I will switch over to YouTube. Let's see. And it's working. Okay. Let me know if you can see it.
You may have come across the 50-30-20 rule as you plan your finances. But what exactly is it? The 50-30-20 rule is a method of budgeting that can help keep your spending in alignment with your savings goals. It divides your after-tax income into 3 different buckets: your essentials, your wants, and your savings. Here's how you can apply it to your budget. Set aside no more than 50% of your income for the absolute necessities. In general, these will include housing, food, transportation, and utility bills. Any expenses that you'd almost certainly have to pay, regardless of your job or current place of residence, would be considered an essential. Set aside 30% of your income for your wants. This would include unnecessary expenses that enhance your lifestyle, such as cable bills, trips to your local coffee shops, or buying those new shoes you've been eyeing. Take a look at your expenditures in your monthly budget, then decide which ones you're able to cut down. The fewer costs you have in this category, the more progress you'll make paying down debt and securing your future. Set aside the remaining 20% for your savings. Think of this as your get ahead category. This includes savings plans, retirement accounts, debt payments, or rainy day funds. This category of expenses should only be paid after your essentials are taken care of and before any personal spending. Whether you make $30,000 or $150,000 a year, establishing a good habit like this will last you a lifetime. Ready to get started on your...
Okay, so that was a short video. I put that in there for one, so you don't have to hear me talk the entire time. And then for 2, just to give another example of how it should go. Again, this is just a suggestion of a budgeting rule. You do not have to do it this way, but this is one of the suggestions that I found helpful. So let's review. A budget should reflect your priorities and your financial reality. Be sure that you tweak your budget as needed. Life happens. You may pay off a debt, receive a promotion, start a family. Things change often, so be sure to stay on top of them. Studies show that it takes about 3 months of budgeting before your budget actually works. So do not give up after the first month. Give it some time to get used to it. Our budget should reflect our reality. A budget only works when you stick to it. All right, so now let's go over to our savings portion of the PowerPoint. So saving is simply setting aside money for a future cause. Setting aside money empowers you to plan for your future and achieve your goals. A savings can be for emergencies, education, medical expenses, traveling, a car, or a house. It's all up to you what you want to save for. Savings should be a part of your budget. I actually list savings as a monthly expense on my budget. So it's like a bill. I make sure I put something toward my savings each month. So how to save? A great starting point to saving is to pick a goal. Maybe start with a short-term goal and then determine how much money you will need for that goal and when you want to reach that goal. Then you will be able to decide how much you should save per week, bi-week, or month. Your goals should be SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. When you know your why, it is easier to say no to frivolous spending and be able to hit your goals. Start saving today. So everyone always asks, how do you start? When should you start? Why should I start? Things like that. I always say start today. Start right now, today, Saturday, February the 13th at 11:11 a.m. is a great time to start saving. The first step I would suggest is to set a goal. Dave Ramsey, he says that a good saving start is $1,000 in your emergency fund. I think that is a good amount, but it's not always achievable for many. Remember, our SMART goals, it has to be achievable. I say that a small amount that you are able to achieve would be a starting point for you. My first savings goal for me was definitely not $1,000. Honestly, I just wanted to have a positive balance in my bank account before my next paycheck hit. So even when I wanted a positive balance, I didn't care if it was 50 cents. I didn't care if it was $1. I just did not want a negative amount in my bank account by the next payday. So I guess every 2 weeks. And again, I wanted to make it achievable. So once I hit that goal, I set a measurable amount. And then once I hit that goal, I would increase the amount each time. After setting a goal, you want to create a system and make a plan. Find a place to save your money. You can be a bank account, it can be a prepaid card, or you can save cash at home. Whatever works for you, let that be your method. Make that your plan. What I did, I actually opened a bank account at a bank. I think it was at the time, there was only 2 of these banks in Columbus, Ohio, and they were far, far out. So what I did is I opened a savings account at that bank just so that if I needed money, I would literally have to drive 30 minutes to this bank to withdraw the money from the account. So because of that, it made me not as easy or eager to go get the money, if that makes sense, because the bank was so far out. Now, of course, if I had an emergency and I needed those funds, I would make the drive. But because my goal was to save that money, I chose that bank that was so far away because I knew I wasn't going to just drive an hour to get 20 bucks for a pizza. And again, it was a savings account, so I did not have a debit card with that account. There was no way to electronically transfer funds or anything like that. I didn't set up anything online. It was just a savings account where I set money to, every time I would get paid from my job, I would send money to that account. So that's a tip that I can share with you. And also auto payments are the easiest. As I mentioned, I did have a certain amount transferred to that bank account automatically out of my pay stub. So that way that money was already going to be into that account. Okay, now be sure to also regularly monitor your progress. Watch your progress because this can actually help encourage you see that number increase. When you reach your goal, celebrate your success, pat yourself on the back, take a breath of relief, and set a new goal. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So let's review our savings portion. So it can take a few months to adapt to your new budget and savings goal. So take your time. Practice makes improvement. No one is perfect. I'm here if you need any assistance. I'm always willing to help. If you need any questions or comments, please let me know. Here are some resources that I actually have on hand. These books actually go over what we went over today. These are free books. So if you would like them, please feel free to reach out to me. I will get them to you. This book here, Behind on Bills, start with step 1. This is regarding budgeting and how to get your bills caught up. This one here, Building Your Saving, start with small goals. This covers our savings portion of our meeting for today. So please, if you would like any one of these books, please reach out to me and I can get those out to you. Okay, so this actually is the end of our meeting. Does anyone have any questions or comments or concerns? I'm not sure if there is a chat option. Oh, there is a chat. I apologize.
I have a question. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
On the far as the budget, far as saving and everything, I know you have a list on here. Is there any way to get a copy of this slideshow or no?
Definitely send you a copy of it. I made it from home. So it's nothing fancy. I just typed in a few things, but I'll be more than happy to share it with you. Also, this recording was, excuse me, this as well, so that way you can go back to it.
Okay. And on the goal, where you said a goal is one goal maybe a short-term goal or a long-term goal, or you just combining it together?
So studies show that short-term goals are easier to accomplish. So I do suggest that you start with a short-term goal because once you reach it, you kind of feel motivated. You feel good. So it helps you to go to the next goal. And then as you go, your goals keep coming as you keep making them. I would make them long-term after. So, with progress.
Okay. And also one last question. In that savings, are you also incorporating the your 401k, or is there any other kind of options that you could use as well as far as stock options in order to get you to your goal?
So when I do personally myself, I do have a 401k, but I do take that from my personal savings. But some people do include that as part of their savings as well. But I myself, I don't look at my 401k. I just put that money in, let it grow. So my savings that I discussed today was just my personal, I guess, savings that I have access to more easily than my 401k.
Okay. And I apologize for the background noises.
Oh, no, you're fine. I appreciate you asking. I like talking, so this is good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I do see Nikisha did put in the chat that was her goal also to have her bank with money. So I definitely, like I said, I suggest that to find a small, I did a credit union, find a small credit union or small bank, just somewhere where it's not easily accessible, and start putting money into that account. So that way you will forget about it. Honestly, sometimes I forget about that account. But now, like I said, that was years ago. I don't even know how many years ago. But now that bank that I am with, it's actually, now there's one about 10 minutes from me. They have expanded and now they are more frequent, or I guess more throughout Columbus. However, I still try to stay away from it. Again, I still do not have it set up online, so I cannot make any electronic transfers. If I need money from that account, I literally have to drive to that bank, either go inside or go through the teller to make a withdrawal. So again, it's really not time consuming. And most of the time, the bank is actually closed by the time I get off of work. So it's really not easy for me to get that money, which is good. That's how you want it. You do not want it easy. You want because you're saving that money. So, like I said, if an emergency comes up, if something happens, then you are able to go get that money and you'll find time for it. However, it's only for an emergency. So my contact information. So if you would like to reach out to me for any one-on-one, not training, but meetings, or if you have any additional information that you would like, or excuse me, if you need any additional information, please feel free to reach out to me. You can check out my website, which is yourwork101.com, or you can email my business page at 123yourwork@gmail.com. And thank you for joining. So this is the end of our presentation for today. I truly appreciate you spending your brunch hour with me on this morning. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I will stay on the line if should anyone want to chat afterwards. But right now, this is the end of it. Again, thank you all for coming. I truly appreciate your time. Be on the lookout for our next event happening in March. And I will talk to you later. Have a great day and happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you too.
Thank you.
Awesome job. Awesome job.
Thank you so much.
This was so awesome, even though my internet was like, girl, I loved everything. Jenny, you are amazing. Awesome presentation.
You always make me cry. I can't handle you. Thank you. I
took some screenshots, like, so I'm gonna text you like, hey, can I post just this screenshot to see, just to let everybody know, like, look.
You sure can. You sure
Oh,
can.
Thank you.
Welcome. I see a few questions. According so I can review it again.
Thank you so much, Miss Virginia Jones. Worthy of resourceful knowledge, yes.
Thank you, Nikisha. I appreciate you joining me.
My pleasure. I love it. I love it. I love how that's so much information, valuable information in such a short time. Because people's attention span.
I understand.
But so I definitely, you did it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, well, have a great day. Don't know what the weather is like outside, but I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, you also enjoy your day as well, and happy Valentine's Day to you.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you, or happy Galentine's Day to you, girl. Treat yourself on a date.
Thank you. I sure will, honey. I'm so busy today. I'll see what I can find something to do.
All right. Bye. Bye, everyone. Oh my goodness, that was awesome.
Okay, everyone. So I believe that's wrapping it up. Actually, Ashley, let me make sure I have your email address.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry about that. I had emailed you earlier because I didn't RSVP by the 10th. So I had emailed you like maybe about an hour before this.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah. Okay.
For you?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, I do have it. So I will get this recording out to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. I hope it was very helpful.
It was. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.